Hello, everyone. This is Adam Brown, law offices of Adam C. Brown PCs, and we're here to talk to you today about sexual assault. Sexual assault. What's going on in this country? There's the Me Too movement that passed. There's an advent of various people coming up and saying they were sexually assaulted. And oftentimes, there's a lot of intersection in my family practice as well as criminal practice with these issues. It's a very serious issue, and I feel that I should devote a video series to the sexual assault process, as far as any criminal case, but the unique issues I see in sexual assault cases, and from the beginning of the case, the complaint, to potentially the sentencing of it, and what those ramifications are. So today I'm going to talk to you about a very important concept. There's a number of ways you get evidence in these cases. So if you're a victim of sexual assault, this might have happened to you 10, 15, 20 years ago. Who knows how long it happened to you before. But there's a concept called the fresh complaint witness that is a very important concept, not just for the state in the case, but also obviously in your defense. So what is a fresh complaint witness and why is it important? Well, I'm going to direct to State versus Hill. It's 121 NJ 150 is a citation, 1990 case for all you legal eagles out there. And basically it gives us a 4-part test. Now, what's a fresh complaint witness? Well, let's say that there's a victim and the victim was sexually assaulted or says they were sexually assaulted at some point in time. And then they go around telling people. What can be said about that at trial? Can those people testify at trial without prejudicing the defendant that they heard about this sexual assault? And it becomes very murky of an area for defendants because they're like, hey, just because this person told someone 10 years later, 15 years later, what they think happened, does not mean it happened at all. This person likes attention. This person elicits a response and has a mental issue. This person is, making it up. And then on the other hand, the victim can say, no, actually, I said it because this is someone I trust, and of course I would have said it to this person at this time. How do you see that possibly coming up in trial? The fresh complaint witness. So the fresh complaint witness test is a 4-part test, and they essentially look at the relationship between the victim and the person. They look at whether or not the disclosure to that person was voluntary and whether that disclosure was spontaneous. They look at whether or not the person's going to testify at the trial and be available to testify at the trial. And they also look at whether it was a reasonable time after the alleged assault for this person to be told something like this. Reasonable time. These are 4 factors that will be used and to determine if a witness is going to be permitted to go on the stand and to say, so-and-so told me this. Now, case law is pretty clear, in my opinion, about how far down the rabbit hole we can go. They can say, hey, this person told me this. Hey, this person told me that. The substantive merits of what was discussed between them, their version of events, that is largely can be argued to be inadmissible. How it was said, why it was said, who it was said to, well, that's for the jury to decide. But the actual depth of the conversation, how much was being said at the time, really goes to credibility, and it might not be admissible. So the fresh complaint witness. So if you're a defendant at a trial, you could potentially see people who you're like, this person wasn't even alive or around or whatever. No way. And they're saying they heard from X it's the fresh complaint witness. That's what they're allowed to do. They're allowed to have it. Doesn't mean that they got true facts. It doesn't mean that, anything of that sort, that you're guilty or none of that. But that's the concept in general. So there are a few other concepts, but you see that a lot in sexual assault cases. And all of those factors, reasonableness of when they were told, who said it, that all goes into whether or not the state can put on a fresh complaint witness.